welcome back to another Sunday live show. I don't know how long we'll be on live tonight. Plus, we're trying something a little bit new, so bear with me. Looks like there's two lives out there. There's a vertical and then a horizontal one. Anyway, so depending on how you're watching it, your experience might be a little bit different on the YouTubes, but we're going to try it out tonight. Happy Sunday. Look at this beautiful DoorDash bag we have. I got some explaining to do. It will be new for some of you, but obviously I am back. This is my welcome kit from DoorDash. I got that this week. I actually did 50 deliveries in the last 10 days on the DoorDash app. Brand new account. I'm going to talk about that a little bit as to why I'm doing it, how often I'll probably do it, and what I want to achieve with this, what type of content you will probably be seeing. We'll go over some of this welcome kit crap, and then we'll talk about our week, talk about the upcoming week in the gig economy, what many of you might be able to expect with this holiday season, because the holiday season is here. Got Thanksgiving on Thursday. Depending on the apps you have, you might have some pretty decent earnings this week, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even starting tomorrow. So we'll talk about that tonight. In a really good mood, had a really positive week as far as gig economy, just overall, it's pretty solid. Good day today. My Bears won. They're 8-3. We are kings of the North, first place right now. We would be hosting a playoff game if the playoffs in the NFL start today, and the Lions would not be in it, and that's even better. It's a beautiful day. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate y'all very, very, very much. Okay, so I'll say hi to everybody in the chat in just a second. Depending on how you're watching, you might be watching me in vertical, it might be on the horizontal, whatever. So I'll be testing that out tonight. I'm trying to see. Junebug, what up? RC, what up? Gig Adventures, 8165. This is James. What's up, man? Kevin, what up? What up? What up? Who else do we got in here? Say hi if you're in the chat. Appreciate that. If you're watching on the vertical or the or whatnot, let me know. I see Falah. What's up? What's up? Who else is in here? That was me. Okay. Dashland, yo, what up? How you doing? How you doing? Are you still doing Spark a lot? I am not doing Spark. It's been a while. You must not be watching the videos, but that's okay. I got too many videos. I don't expect everybody to watch them a lot. Okay. Monkey, what's up, man? How you doing? Joe Mathis, what's up? What's up? All right, so let's get into this week a little bit. Jason, what's up, man? Always a pleasure. Thomas, what's up, brother? How are you? So, okay, before we go forward, we got to go back. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about, I don't want to go too far back because then I might bore some of you guys. But a couple of weeks ago, I guess about almost a month, maybe 3 weeks ago, I decided I want to see if I can sign up for a brand new DoorDash account. Okay, brand new, right? It took me 3 or 4 days to get on. It took me, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to sign up. I used a brand new, this is, a lot of you guys are sending me emails and a lot of more so comments. How'd you get back on? I was deactivated. I can't get on. I can't get on. Some of you even think that I somehow never lost my original DoorDash account, which is weird to me, but I did. So a lot of you guys are asking me, how'd you get back on? Pedro, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Listen, my experience might not match yours depending on your marketplace, depending on other factors, right? But I'm gonna tell you exactly how I got back on. I'm not gonna gatekeep any secrets. I share this with you. If DoorDash finds out and decides to deactivate me, I really don't care. Okay? Don't care. Okay, so brand new, I had a DoorDash account, got deactivated. I was fine with it. It was a year, 9 months ago. I appealed it. The appeal didn't go through. Several months later, my account came back to where it was active. And then I didn't do any DoorDash, but I showed that in some videos, never did anything. And I tried to go back on and it was not active anymore. So I signed up with a brand new account 3 or 4 weeks ago. I used a different email and phone number than my previous DoorDash account. Different email, different phone number. I used a different first name. I used my middle name. So it's still my name, but not Pedro. It's a middle name, same last name. And I use my ID, my real ID that's issued to me. And Checkered is an app that the company DoorDash and many others use to vet background checks, driving records. I passed all of that. That's how I got my account. So I'll show you the account in just a second. Hit that thumbs up if you're watching vertically or horizontally. Hit the thumbs up. Appreciate the 53 people that are here. I'll say hi to everybody in a minute. So here's my Dasher account right here. You guys see it? That's it. This is my device. This is my account. Okay. If you scroll up at the top, that's me. And then you go to account. Let me show you that. Here, I guess we can go to ratings. This will show. Here's my numbers. Okay. It says I've done 50 deliveries, right? So this is what we got. I'll even show you my earnings for this week. There's my earnings, 391.59. Okay, as you can see, there's no other earnings anywhere else. Well, last week I did $91. There, you can see it right there. Okay, so but this is a brand new account. There's no other information on this device, right? So the reason I'm doing this, the reason I started doing it 3 or 4 weeks ago was to expose DoorDash, to show you how easy it is to get back on, whether you're deactivated or not, and not use 100% accurate information. A lot of people talk about illegal accounts and this and that and account sharing, and people are giving people phones and saying, here, I got an account for you. Like, those things happen. I do believe most of the time there's some kind of verifiable ID. Verifiable meaning checker just checks, like, is like the they check the driving record of that particular ID, and they check this criminal background check. Like, it's not that thorough. It's actually pretty easy to get on because of the app that DoorDash and these companies use. So I was able to get back on, and I'm deactivated. So if you're deactivated, listen to what I just did, and you can get back on. I've earned money. I showed you those are real dollars and cents. Now, why am I doing this? I need to be clear, because I always kind of thought I'm not going to do DoorDash. I don't need it, first of all, but also I just don't like how they do things. But I started thinking, I don't like how Uber does things. Uber, in some ways, is worse than DoorDash. I don't like all the things that Spark and Instacart does. None of these gig apps are exempt to fraud, manipulation, lying, and deceit upon drivers. They all do it on some form or another. Even the catering apps, they do it. They hide money, low base fares. All of them do it. If anything, they're more similar in that way than they are different. There's not one gig app, in my opinion, that I've worked. Maybe you guys can tell me in the chat. Maybe you have a different experience. That's like superior, like that is superior in that way. So I said to myself, if I'm going to earn money with Uber, I'll just do it with DoorDash too for a while. Seems like things are changing. I'm one of the guys you guys like to get that new information from. Why not? If the app gets taken away because DoorDash finds out that I use my middle name versus my first name, which actually they probably couldn't do that, because you can change your name in the app after you have an account. And people change their name all the time. They might go by something different. Like, you can change your account information, right? The thing that they really verify is just, are you a bad guy or a good guy when it comes to what checkered follows? Do you have an ID? Do you have a vehicle? I didn't have to put in any kind of insurance information. I didn't have to put in any of that kind of stuff. Just what kind of vehicle, ID, facial recognition, very easy. And I think that's why a lot of people are struggling on the app itself, because the barrier of entry is easy. If I had to get another account tomorrow, I'd be able to. I know I would. New phone number, new email, probably the same ID, change my name to something else, and it would go through. Think about that for a second. That's why I'm doing this. I like to expose the gig apps for what they are, right? And having boots on the ground to do this, it is what it is. So we're back. We have that account. It is what it is, and we'll see how. It's interesting because all week I've been able to just dash anytime because it's brand new, and then once I hit 50 deliveries, I got a notification yesterday about that, telling me an email telling me about the information, like the tier program and earn more and priority, and I'm like, whatever. My acceptance rate is 16%, I think, right? So, and I've done 50 deliveries, so you can do the math on how many offers they've sent. Probably like over 300 offers or whatever, and only 16 have been worth taking, right? So yeah, probably like 250, 260. Somebody do the math on that, but it's been a lot. So listen, my point here is, okay, I'm going to turn these turn that app on sometimes to see what is happening with it, and I'll report it. I don't expect good earnings. I'm not going to give it a lot of my time. I'll have it on in the background. I have the catering, you got Instacart, I still have Uber. I'm going to have it on. And I just, by happenstance, made almost 400 bucks this week. It was my second earning app this week. Expedite was number one, followed by DoorDash, 300 on Uber Eats, Instacart only 200 bucks this week, and then Roadie. So 5 apps I made money with. DoorDash was numero dos. Crazy. It's weird to say, but it's the reality. So I had it running in the background. If something makes sense, I'm gonna take it. And they fed me orders that were decent. I think based on the money, I think my average was like $8 an order, something like that, $8 or $9 an order, something like that. Because I did 5 orders last week, so yeah, it's like $8 an order. Not horrible, a little, maybe a little bit above average, but that's no catering and no shopping pays. Not bad for just food delivery, right? But so we have that account back. I wanted to talk about that tonight a little bit, but even more so, let me say hi to everybody that's here first. If you're here, I appreciate y'all. I see Eric, Hustle Mind Frame. What up? Joyce, Jason, Red Speedy Gonzalez, Joe Thomas. All right. So somebody said horizontal. Yeah. So there's two different options when you go to StreamYard, and I just have both of them. So I'm not sure how you're watching, if anything's different. Let me see if I can look myself, because the one I'm looking at now. Okay, let me click on this one. Okay, yeah. So that is different. So there's 35 people watching that one, and 70 people watching the other. It's weird. It's fine. The message is exactly the same, so it doesn't matter if you're watching. Some people like the shorts, I guess. The shorts feed people. Okay, so Dasher Phil, what up, man? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you stopping in and saying hello. I got to DoorDash account back, man. Dasher Phil's got a really, really, really good channel over there talking about his experiences within the tier programs and DoorDash and all that. Definitely go check him out. If you're here, you probably know who that is, right? So just don't taunt them, Peter. Just move on from it all. Yeah. Not taunting, but I think it's important to have a realistic experience with what the app is doing now, because when I got deactivated a year and 9 months ago or so, the app was different in a lot of ways, and they're going to even change even more. Phil was at that round table. I think they got things coming. DoorDash seems to change things every 4 to 6 months, whether it's a program or what they prioritize or what merchants they're doing and what they prioritize from the consumer end, what merchants they bring on. Like, they change things because they have to. A lot of big companies do, and I think they're still finding their way. So I'll show you guys what I see when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I'll give my perspective on it if it's if I feel like it could be helpful or entertaining, like I've always done, right? So let me go ahead and put this here real quick. Let me see who else is here. How is everyone, June? Okay. Yeah, hit that like. I made 194 today since 1988. DPGC. I made 194 today, but I worked from 9 to 9. That's a long day. Now, I'm assuming you only have one or two apps. Let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. Jimmy B is here. I don't know why they changed the on-screen names on here. Yeah, maybe I'm not sure why either. I don't know. What up, Troy? How you doing? What's up? So, VA in the house. So appreciate that. RC, what's up? My God, I just saw your Instagram, Pedro. I don't know what that means, Kevin. You could maybe say a little bit more in there. I guess I don't even put anything on Instagram, so my girlfriend does. So maybe that's what you're saying. Reggie, what up? Just one app right now. Yeah, one app. So I'm going to use you as an example, if you don't mind, and I'll do it respectfully, right? Kevin, I don't know what you're talking about. So when you have one app, I think working 12 hours, that's probably in most markets, that's probably the common experience. 12 hours, we'll call it 200 bucks, right? As you probably know, maybe you're on a wait list or maybe you're limited in your opportunities. If you work 12 hours, in my opinion, you should make more than that, right? So I'm hoping you're trying to get on other apps. I've been talking about that for really the last couple of years, but really keying in on that multi-apping and what apps to look at for the last 3 or 4 months. Because the times that we're in right now, starting this week, this is the money season. November, December, first couple weeks of the January, right? People are spending money. Then it starts slowing down mid-January, right to Valentine's, very slow time. That 4 or 5 weeks right there, extremely slow in restaurants and food delivery. Doesn't mean you can't make money in the gig economy, because we deliver more than just food, right? But on your Spark apps, your Instacart. People are starting to pay their credit card bills down. They just spent all the money on the holidays. No, 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 right? So definitely try to get on other apps, because if you work 12 hours, I want you to make more than that 190 whatever, right? And I know that you can, so hopefully you can get on other apps. So Jumbo, appreciate that. You sent one gift membership. All right, so I hope somebody got that really would use it. Appreciate that. So let's go ahead and put that up on the screen real quick. Thomas, what up? You couldn't live without DoorDash. Just admit it. Is that Thompson? Definitely not. But I just eloquently stated why I got back on. I like to expose these apps for what they are, the good and the bad. I think we have to be fair on both ends, right? And it's extremely easy to get on DoorDash, even if you've been deactivated before. And I proved that. And I'll continue to talk about that from time to time as we explore this new DoorDash and what they got going on and all the games they like to play. So I'm gonna put some comments up on the screen here. Super Random says, Pedro, let me host you here in Austin, Texas, and I'll show you the migrant, aka illegal account problem. Super Random, let me say this. Maybe I'll make my way out there, but there's no way that you know somebody is illegal just by how they look. And anybody that assumes that, I'll pray for you. Very closed-minded way of thinking. But hey, that's how people like to, that's how I like to think. So, Junebug, new member. Appreciate that, Junebug. How you doing? What else do we got? Junebug. Oh, Reggie got it. Nice. Welcome, Reggie. In Cleveland, 12 hours will make you 500. Woo! 500 in Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland. I've dashed in Cleveland. I know some people in Cleveland. Cleveland can be a good market. Very similar to St. Louis in some ways. But if you're going to make 512, you probably got 4 or 5 apps. One of them is probably a catering, and you probably got priority shopping on the DoorDash app, diamond card on Instacart. It can be done. Yes, I do agree with that. But that 500 is not going to be every single day, but definitely possible. Probably on a Sunday, especially on a Sunday, right? How IRS illegal. What up? Yeah, Phil's in the house. Everybody say hi to Phil. I got a phone call as soon as I said hi. Yeah. I'll say this. The one thing I didn't miss about DoorDash, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. The one thing I did not miss about it. All right, let me put that there. Okay. Man, when it's busy, it goes off like crazy, right? Sometimes it can be annoying when what they're sending you is not good. Because I got 2 devices, right? So if I'm filming a video, I got a device for that. But on my 2 devices, I run one device just has Instacart on it. The other device right now it has my catering apps, Roadie, Uber, DoorDash. I have the Instacart app on it, but I use the other device for various reasons with the other phone number in order to do Instacart. It's just better that way. I like to have 2 devices for that reason. I recommend that. I think if you have one phone and you got all your devices on one device, that's hard to manage because the way the notifications come up, especially on the Instacart app, right? If you're waiting for you got to have the interface open on Instacart. Otherwise, the app, that good offer might go away really quick. And if you wait for the notification on even that app or others, by the time you get the notification, somebody else might have accepted it. So I like to have 2 different phones when I'm sitting waiting or if I'm at home or whatever. It opens up more opportunity for me and opens up an opportunity where I'm actually going to possibly see it. Now with DoorDash and Uber, it's timed. So if you get something, DoorDash is 30 seconds. Uber has a little toggle thing, like the thing that like shortens it. It's probably 30 seconds as well, maybe a little bit more. So I like those apps, but the other apps, man, you gotta have 2 phones. I think that's why a lot of people have 2 phones. It's easier to manage, especially if you're creating content, if you gotta take a phone call, if you want to look something else up, if you want to watch a YouTube video. Having 2 devices, if you have a decent phone carrier, adding another device, right, a second or third device, if you got a family plan, isn't that much more money. And I believe by having another device and multi-apping in that way, you'll make more money over the course. It'll pay for itself. That extra line will 10 times pay for itself in most cases, right? Live sometimes. Okay. Tammy says, proud non-tipper here. Tammy, why? Please go get it yourself or make a sandwich, dear. Come on. Come on. Dashline says, hey, Pedro, I've been seeing mass marketing on Ship. Is that any good? Never done Shipped. Never even signed up. I know it's mostly Target and I think some other merchants. Never done it. Probably will never do it. I do know there are some creators and or Reddit forums for Shipped and things like that. I think Long Island Dash Experience, they do ship. That's a channel I would recommend to get some shipped information. The Long Island Dash Experience, maybe you've heard of them. I don't do that though. What up, Batch? How you doing? How you doing? Put some comments up. Delivery drivers being treated like kindergarten. Sometimes, Kevin. I don't give free money to do your job. Stop begging. Tammy, it's okay. You're okay. You're okay. I'm on it. You have to be from a bigger area. The means my land doesn't exist. Jason, okay, yeah, yeah. I'll check them out. Yeah, definitely check them out. Okay, so that's why I have that new DoorDash account. I'm going to be documenting some things here and there. I'm not doing the daily DoorDash content like I used to. I'll never really do that. I can't because I have other things going on. But the time to make money is now. I'll have it running in the background. It is what it is. By my best guess, based on this last week, I don't know if, I think I was seeing good orders especially during lunch. Like it was feeding me things that was decent, and I was marrying that with Uber Eats and doing them at the same time, and it worked to my benefit some days. Right, we had a good week this week, right? Good week, but I think this week I probably won't have. I won't be able to dash now anytime. But I'm not going to schedule. I'm not going to do that crazy thing with all the scheduling because I got other ways to make money. But we'll see. If anything, I'll probably make $200-300 this week with DoorDash. Not a big deal. I use it as a filler app, and we'll see. I'm not going to be chasing the AR. I just can't. It's at 16%. I'd have to take trash and take time away from other apps that I actually enjoy doing and making money with. And I'm not going to play that game. I get the people that have to. Um, Let me ask you guys this question before we get on to some other topics. If you're a dasher, what's your tier status? What is your tier status down below? Let me know. I'm not somebody that's chasing platinum. I'm just not going to do it. I think there were some benefits to it a couple years ago. I think all that's kind of gone off the shelf. I think it's completely different now. But what is it down below? Let me know why, and why you have that. Do you see benefits from it? Mine's 16%. I'm not taking. Listen, I'm 44 years old. I can't deliver $2-3 orders, and I'm not driving 10 miles for anything that's less than $20. So, Grubhub, Plat. Unfortunately, okay. Hustle Mind Frame says Plat. So he's from Dash and Trader's channel because that comes from Dash and Trader. I'm gonna put some of this up here on the screen. You guys drop what you guys are. Drop your AR too. Silver. Okay, I see a silver status there. What else do we got? Freedom. I love that. 16%. I'm at 17. Love it. Tar level. My temperature rate is 19. Okay, so we got a lot of lower ones here, which is probably where the money's at, and that's probably you got other apps and other ways to make money. I'm 37. I'm with you. Yep. Plat. Okay. Would you help someone for free? No, right. So I want tip as well. I don't know what that means, Tammy. You're in the wrong channel. Platinum so far. Dasher Phil says platinum so far. So maybe that's fluid for him. He might change it based on obviously the week and what he's trying to do. James says 24%. Diamond on Instacart. That's the way to be. I only made $200 on Instacart this week though, but I do believe Diamond is the way to go. Bobby says no tier. 16% drain swamp. Mike, don't care. You are an old man, Pedro. Just like me, I'm almost 40. Things are starting to hurt. I felt that comment today. I took 2 walks today with the little one. My feet hurt. 47 says April. I rarely do DoorDash. Yeah, it's hard to get it up if you can only do a few here and there, right? So, all right, what else we got here? I'm in no tier. 9% DoorDash, 11. Yeah, there we go. Bobby says 5. 9%. Mine, I'm at 5% on Uber Eats. Thank you very much. I was seeing bangers on Uber Eats. If you guys saw some of the videos, bangers on Uber Eats all week long. Multiple $50 plus orders with at that point, a 2% AR. I'll take that every day of the week. That time of the season, the Uber's going to be hitting too. I really believe that. We'll see what we got in here. Let's see. Tier is a joke. Pro Shopper is beneficial. I've heard that, and I remember when I was doing DoorDash, the Pro Shopper and using your red card, I always preached that. I always thought that was the way to go on that app. I have not activated my. I have a digital red card within my phone for DoorDash, but I haven't opted in to see those type of orders. As far as shop and pay, I just don't want to do them right now. But the one thing I do see that you would need the red card, I still see Raising Cane's orders, but I haven't accepted one of those on DoorDash, only on Uber Eats. For some reason, the Uber Eats app pays a lot more on Raising Cane's with the base fare than the DoorDash app, at least from what I've seen this week. Like 2, 3 times as much sometimes. My average Uber Eats Raising Cane's is like $15. The DoorDash ones I see are like 6 or 7. So Joyce says gold. Okay. Cliff Dog, what up, man? Tears a joke. Yep, yeah. Oh, that was Cliff Dog. What up, man? How you doing? Just got my third. Ooh, let me read this one here. Just got my third emerald on Expedite yesterday. Bro, when you hit that fourth, you're going to see a difference. Congratulations on hitting third. My experience when I got to that fourth level and I started seeing orders at 1 p.m. versus 1:30, because right now you should see them at 1:30 on the third level, it changed it for me. I'm basically doing 1 or 2 more orders per day. I'm also seeing more just on the weekend sometimes too. They're not always good, but you want to see things. I'm making an extra $300 a week so far. I'm about a month in of having four just on that app, and I'm not doing anything different. So that's like extra money every week. It's fantastic. So I hope you have a similar experience. Do what you got to do to keep your thing going and get to that fourth tier. I definitely see benefits from it. I haven't talked to anybody yet that hasn't seen a benefit. So congratulations on that, man. Gold 71%. Okay. All right. All right. Bobby says pro shoppers the way. I definitely think that's still true. From what I hear from people that have been doing that still. Ooh, let me read this one from Reggie. Going to start my first full week on Spark. Is this week pretty heavy? Well, yeah, you got a lot of Black Friday deals. I don't want to speak for your market. I don't know where you're at. You can let us know. Maybe somebody else could offer you some information that's more beneficial for you if they're also in a similar market. I started doing a lot of Spark around this time last year. I don't do it anymore, and it was busy. It was good. It doesn't always mean it's good. Like the volume will be increased, is what I'm saying. It doesn't mean every offer is good, but yeah, it's gonna be busy. It should be busy. Gold, and I don't care about AR much anymore. Yeah, you shouldn't. I ain't gonna preach that. Let's see, 23 on Spark. Everything else damn near 100 though. Okay, Spark has some great shopping. Sometimes they do. Yeah. And you know what? The thing about Spark, I would say, is when I was doing it, I did the pharmacy delivery. Sometimes those can, I recommend those if they make sense. Okay. They don't always pay great, but sometimes the mileage can be really low because the person that's doing pharmacy, they probably live close to the Walmart. Sometimes it's like 10, $12, mile or two. Nothing wrong with that. The pickups are usually easy and quick in my experience. But the shopping is usually beneficial, but the curbside pickups sometimes can be good. And those batched orders, some people like them. You might see a 40, 50, $60, but it's like 20, 25 stops. And it tells you it takes 3 hours. Hey, if you want to make $60 in 3 hours, $20 an hour, and you don't have to worry about any other apps, for a lot of you guys and a lot of Spark drivers, they like that. And they got all the packages and they just become basically a route runner for 2.5, 3 hours. Some people, that's the speed that they like. I didn't really enjoy them. I did them for the experience. Sometimes they made sense, but I always find myself getting a little anxious, like wanting to be done so I can like go on to the next thing. But so there's a lot of different options on that Spark app. My recommendation is, hopefully you got more than one Walmart in your area. Find the one you like. You also have to realize that places like Home Depot, Sam's Club, Sally Beauty Supply, and various other places, some even shoe stores and stuff like that. There's other things besides just Walmart. That's going to be 90% of probably what you do, maybe even more. But there are other merchants on the Spark Driver app as well. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Hey Pedro, my first time on. Just came home from doing Instacart and only made what's it say, 34 from about noon till 7. Oh, does that say 34? I can't read that. What's that say? $34? No, that's not right. That can't be right. 34 from noon to, there's no way you work 7 hours and made $34. Come on, you got to be trolling. And if that's really true, I'm not trying to embarrass you, but if that's your, hold up, you had to have made money on other apps, right? There's no way you only made, that means you took 1 or 2 orders? No. If you only made that amount of money, you gotta leave. Exit stage left. Don't do this anymore. That's not good. Jose, what's up, man? Appreciate the super sticker, bro. I do not like how this YouTube like is with up and down video. Cliff, If you back out, you can. There should be another option for you to watch. That's the horizontal. If you like that better, it's there. So back out of the stream, and you'll go to the live tab. You'll see two options. Click on the other one. The thumbnails are exactly the same. $34. That's crazy. Yes, definitely quit if you're making 34. And that's no hate, but I think you're probably trolling. You gotta be trolling. All right, let me see here. So yeah, that's what we got going on this week. I do expect the volume to go up. Who's working on Thursday? That's another topic I had tonight, right? What has been your guys' experience? We know Tuesday, Wednesday tend to be good shopping days, volume days. You know, if you're an Instacart shopper, this Costco is going to be crazy. Do you want to do them? Do you stay away? But does anybody work Thursday? Is there money to be made in the morning? Some merchants are open, some are closed. Walgreens, CVS, some places are open Thursday for business. Do you go out? There's not going to be as many drivers. Do you find that a day to make good money, or do you just watch football and eat turkey like most of us, right? But who's working that day? And share with me if the reason why. Vertical Live sucks. Look at the bridge and the trash and great. Like, what? Roy, what are you talking about? Back out of the stream. The vertical, you could watch it on the other one. Um, there's two options there, vertical and the other one. But Roy, don't make me take your wrench, dude. Quit blocking people. Unblock them. I mean, it's kind of dead, but after the pays well, do the fast food delivery and yeah, I think there are a lot of places. It's just different now. You know, Black Friday ain't what it used to be. A lot of merchants now, like it's different. But that Thursday, places are open. They are, especially in certain cities and communities. Like, there's money to be made, but I'm wondering like why. I recommend taking that day off, even if you ain't got family, maybe some friends, maybe go do some charity work somewhere, like watch some football, do something. I mean, I think everybody needs a day to like just relax. I recommend that being one of the days. But hey, I get it. We all got bills, but who else is working that day? Where's my wrench? You must be under a different name, so dog, because you had one before. All good, Roy. Thanks, man. My family always does Thanksgiving on the weekend. Thursday has always been really good for me. If your market and shopping open, though, yeah, yeah, we're doing a little family like Christmas slash Thanksgiving with one side of the family on Sunday. So we got a busy week this week, but yeah, we're definitely Thursday is the day where kid ain't got school. I might work in the morning for a couple hours, but it'll depend on how Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday go for me. My goal Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is get to $1,000 in 3 days, and then not do anything else the rest of the week. But we'll see how that goes. It was an accident. It's all good. I'm not worried about it. Appreciate the $5. Who's that? Tony Brown, man, appreciate that, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hope you're out there making good money. I'll be working all day Thanksgiving. Okay. So my man Isaiah, I think it said Isaiah. Hold on. It's my brother's name. I love that name. Thanks for the 5. I'll be working all day Thanksgiving. Hey, what's your goal that day? And when are you gonna get a plate somewhere? Everybody's got to have somewhere where they can get a plate, right? Yeah, groceries gonna be wild this week. The one thing I'm a little worried about is these Costco's are gonna be crazy. So it's like you got to add 15 minutes sometimes, 15, 20 minutes to your total time, depending on, these lines are going to be nuts. So just take that in consideration. Also take into consideration if you're a DoorDash pro shopper. I know that don't they rate part of the metrics to keep the pro shopper is items that you find and like your fill rate or whatever they call it, right? So you got to understand when you get to certain like Wednesday, some merchants might be out of certain items that customers might be looking for. So when you're looking at these orders, just be careful. Oh, we got a lot of Bosnians. St. Louis has the biggest Bosnian community in all of America. I don't know if you guys know that. A little fun fact: the city I live in has the biggest Bosnian community in all of America. I'm platinum. I do 350 to 400 a week. 100% working, getting ready for my next international trip. Always platinum. It's worth it to me. Hey, fantastic, man. If it's worth it to you, I ain't gonna tell you anything wrong. If you're seeing benefits, keep doing what you're doing. If you're not, try something different. Starbucks morning busy. Yeah, Starbucks is open right in the morning, but they probably close at some point. I can see Starbucks being busy, but Starbucks is one of those merchants that you're going to get a lot of like 5 to 10, $12 orders. You're not getting super bangers, I wouldn't think. I mean, unless it's a huge coffee order, but people tipping $2, $3 for a coffee. I mean, I do Starbucks, but you know, it's just like you're getting $5 and $6 to death. You know what I'm saying? Like 1700 a week, no programs except Pro Shopper. Nice, man. That's fantastic. How many days did you work this week, Bobby? Is that the Bobby that I know, or is that a different Bobby? I wouldn't work. I wasn't getting three plays from different. Yeah, yeah. We got dinner at my dad's at 2 o'clock. We got 6:30. We got dessert at my girl's sister's. So two places, which is normal. I think most people go two, three places. We're going to two. It'll be a chill day mostly. Um, yes, it's me. Nice, man. I think it's out, Bobby. I think it's our Bobby. Yeah. What up, Jesse? How you doing? Also, Forum Wisconsin says Bosnians restored several neighborhoods in St. Louis, and the food is great. Oh, big time, man. I mean, South St. Louis, Bevo Mill, all that area, Morgan Ford. That's all. I mean, yeah, man. Love my Bosnian brothers and sisters, man. When they started coming into America, that was when I was in high school. So you're talking 90, 96, 97 was that 98. Those were the 3 years they started really coming over and establishing themselves in this country in St. Louis predominantly. And love my Bosnian. Shout out to my brother Mirza Vedran, my boy Vedran. I used to play basketball with him, man. Shout out to my Bosnian brothers and sisters for sure. All right. Deb says, I work because nothing else to do or go, but I do buy a turkey dinner to eat in my car. Hey, listen, fantastic. Turkey's funny. Tonight we're just chatting. I like to be in the live stream. Sometimes I have panels. Sometimes I like to just read the comments and put them up and interact in that way. Tonight might be one of those nights. But yeah, man, turkey's interesting because it's one of those things that you only eat it in that way once a year. Now we all like turkey sandwiches, right? But like ain't nobody really eating turkey the way that we eat it any other time of the year, but we could. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Thanksgiving's a weird holiday. I'm grateful for it. It's a little weird though. Oh yeah, man. Facts, Bobby. 100%, man. Plus football. It's a good day to watch some football, eat, relax. Yeah, I love those days, man. Thanksgiving's a great holiday in that regard for family, right? It kicks off the holiday season. The weather's nice. I love the fall weather. I went on 2 walks today. It's about 50, 55 degrees today. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's an oversized chicken. Yeah, I mean, it tastes a little different, but okay, I deep fried. If you deep fried a turkey, let me know in the chat. I deep fried a turkey once. This was probably, I had all my family over at my house. Not this house, but this was like 8 or 9 years ago. That thing was so damn good. I injected it with this like garlic butter all over the place, deep fried it. You got to be really careful with that. That thing was crispy on the outside, juicy in the middle. Amazing. Highly recommend. But has anybody had that turducken? You do the turkey, chicken, and duck. You take a turkey, you stuff a chicken in its ass, then you stuff a duck in a chicken's ass, and you got them all together. I don't know how that cooks, but anybody tried that before? Deep fried turkey is lit, super lit, so good. Yeah, I don't watch the parade. Can't do Dash anytime without being platinum in California. Yeah. I noticed that this week, actually, they sent me my email. I hit 50 deliveries. And yesterday, I didn't work, but when I tried to Dash yesterday just to see, I had to schedule. And then I waited like an hour, and then I was able to get back on. So, like, that whole Dash thing, like, that's a benefit. I get it. I was able to Dash now while I had a brand new account. Now I don't think I'm going to be able to, but I don't care. It is what it is. Vegan. Ooh. I deep mine every year. Ooh, yes. Reggie knows what's up. Jason says I delivered Flex today. There was a lot of cookers out of people's houses. Yeah. Someone had fried turkey at the Arby's. Yeah, I think Arby's does have something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's not quite this. I mean, Yeah, a lot of these places are gonna have a lot of these sandwich shops have that like that Thanksgiving sandwich where you've got like turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce or whatever. Those sandwiches can be pretty good. Yeah. Jesse says it is expensive to fry it. Is it expensive to fry it? What do you need to buy to fry it? So I remember I went to Walmart. I bought a fryer at that point, 8, 9 years ago. I think I might have spent maybe $60 or $70 on like a fryer. I got a few gallons of like oil, grease or whatever, right? Put it so it's gonna or triple the cost of your turkey, double the cost of your turkey basically. But it was worth it. Got to have it outside, make sure it's safe, read the instructions. I watched a couple of YouTube videos if you're going to fry turkey, how to be safe with it, because if you don't do it the right way, the main thing is you need to have sure your turkey is thawed out appropriately. Because when you deep fry turkey, if your turkey's not thawed out all the way and it's too frozen or whatever, too much moisture, that's where you have these fires and all this crazy stuff. So you got to thaw it out. I think I had mine thawed out for 2 days or something like that. It was so good, and I highly recommend injecting it at Walmart or most places. You buy like an injectable, and it's just like this garlic butter or whatever you like to put in there, and it's just liquid. And you just do it in like 4 or 5 spots in the turkey. It makes it so juicy. It's so good. And I can't even remember how long I fried it for. It might have been like 40, 45 minutes. Maybe it was probably a little bit more than that, but it was quicker. The cook time to fry it was a lot quicker than baking it, and then it freed up my oven to bake the other things I wanted to cook. So yeah, yeah, oh, it was so good. Yes, yes, yes. Firehouse had yep, yep, yep. Firehouse, yep, yep, yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. Plus, you could use that for other things. You know, yeah, totally cool. It can, yeah. We have the turkey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So listen, y'all. This week it looks like you guys got some good plans. A lot of you guys aren't going to be working, but some of you guys are. That's always good. The money's there. I think I kind of want to touch on a couple of things I've been hearing people say. I run into a lot of people out in the streets. I'm gonna kind of go to a conversation I had with one in particular person this week. I saw him a couple of times this week. They were talking about Spark, but they also have Uber and they also had Instacart. So they have Spark, Roadie, and Uber, and they were struggling. They're saying Spark was down. They're not making good money, and blah blah blah. They got deactivated on Instacart a couple months ago. Um, for all of you guys that have Uber or really any app, but I want to talk about Uber real quick because in the time of the year that we're in right now, you're gonna have like more order volume. You're gonna have companies ordering things, holiday parties. If you're not already on a catering app, it's too late. If you try to sign up now, you're not gonna get on for the immediate like right now in most markets, right? You should have done it when I told you to years ago or 3, 4 months ago, and I was really preaching it, right? Anyways, if you have the Uber app, I want you to go in your Uber app and there's something called the Work Hub. Okay. Let me see if I can't show it to you guys in real time. Okay. A lot of you guys are going to know this, but there's got to be a couple that might not. Okay. Because I was talking to my friend about this. Uber has something called the Work Hub, and there's a place in there where you know how DoorDash asks you if you have an insulator bag, do you have a pizza bag? You want to do all those things in every app that you have. If they're asking you what type of equipment you have, make sure that you have toggle that on and you've shown them what you have because the offers that they send you might sometimes situationally be to your benefit. Okay. So if you go to your Uber app, you guys can do this with me now. Here's my Uber app right here. Okay. If I go to account, maybe. Okay. If you click on account, that second thing down should say Work Hub. You guys see that? Click on the Work Hub. These are going to be some options for you. That's what it's going to look like. I made a video about this like a couple years back. I have the rides. You might not have, I have the rides, the deliveries, all that. But if you go to the delivery option, you see how it says alcohol? If you want to deliver alcohol, make sure you're approved for that. Make sure there's like a test or something like that. I think things you have to acknowledge, food delivery, insulated bags. That's the one right there. Do you see that? The third one down, and there's shop and deliver. Have those on. But the insulated bags one, when you click on that, pizza and insulated bag orders. Verify your bag. Submit a photo of your bag to qualify for these insulated bag orders. I believe, okay, they want you to have a bag, but I get catering orders and catering orders similar, like big orders. I got 4 of them this week on Uber Eats because I have that on. And you can get food delivery. You see how your food delivery option is approved? Mine is, so is yours. Have the insulated bag one there as well. I'm not saying it's going to be a game changer for you, but anytime an app is asking you what you have as far as equipment goes, this goes for curry and roti, all of them. Make sure that you are acknowledging that you have that stuff and you have that stuff because you're giving yourself more opportunity to see certain things, right? I mean, you want your account to be as ready as possible when the opportunity might be out there. There's going to be some luck involved, but why not go into your work hub and sign off and let them know what you have? Situationally, I believe there's benefits to that. DoorDash does the same things. The catering apps are going to ask you how many bags you have. Let them know how many bags you have. Take pictures. You have to do these things anyway, right? The Roadie app, all these apps are going to have something within them. Most of them do that I'm aware of to ask you what you have. Make sure your vehicle information on Spark. If you have a big vehicle, a van, a SUV, a crossover, make sure you have the appropriate vehicle information in there. They will send you bigger orders if you have a bigger vehicle. Doesn't mean you're always going to want to take them, but situationally, those big orders might pay you more than maybe a smaller one, right? So make sure when you're looking at your apps on your device, go through them. Spend 5 minutes this week. What's in there? Okay, can I take this test? Can I do this? Can I opt into this? Opt out of that? If you don't want to do something, opt out. If you're a rideshare driver, you don't want to drive teenagers around, opt out. If you have DoorDash, you don't like to shop, opt out of the red card. If you like to shop, make sure you're opt in. If you're DoorDash driver, you don't want to do cash on delivery, opt out. If you want to see cash on delivery for whatever reason, opt in. Make sure you know what opportunities are within your apps. I think a lot of us just have the app, we start, boom. There's things in the app that change, right? So I just want to show you guys that because I do some big orders on Uber Eats sometimes, and I don't think that's a coincidence. Christmas tree delivery, yeah, why not? Listen, Phil, I have a big vehicle. If it paid enough, if it pays enough, I'll deliver anything. Now, do I want a lot of pine needles and mess in my car? No. Delivering a tree's gonna be heavy, might be a third floor. But listen, if it pays good money, why not take advantage of the opportunity, right? So Phil brings up a great point. Opt into whatever the apps you have. Look at the opportunities and make sure you're either opt in or opted out. I Overall, I would say opt into everything because you never know what you might be missing, right? Um, yeah, this is an ongoing thing. I talked about it with a friend earlier, and I was bringing it up earlier. Antoine, what up, man? What's up? MB Ball watching from Tuscaloosa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Uber accepted my DoorDash pizza bag. Why not? Why wouldn't they? Um, okay, so this one here. Is anyone having issues getting offers from Spark? If so, what have you tried? Man, um, there's a lot there. I think the Spark app, we just got to remember we had the government shutdown. Spark was in some markets kind of slow for a couple of weeks because of that. I think with Spark, though, it's interesting. That's an app that a lot of people are on right now. Excuse me. I think it's if I had to guess, it's probably the third busiest app. DoorDash, Uber, right there with the amount of volume of gig workers, and Spark's right. So many people are on the app. So many people are on it. So you're up against a lot of competition. Excuse me. And a lot of people that do Spark only do Spark. They're especially in St. Louis. That's all they do. Spark, Spark. So they're concentrated on those parking lots, and they're just sitting there all day, right? And then that's all they do. So you're up against the juggernaut, and that's an experience that even people in St. Louis that I know have been having, where it's like just if they feel like they can't do what they were doing before and the money's changed. I just think it's a lot more competition, on that app. Hey, Jason, that's a good point. Go to Harbor Freight, buy a tarp for the tree. That's not bad. AP Delivery Side Gigs. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? I don't, I don't. I would deliver a tree, but like you know, I don't know. It'd have to. If I'm gonna deliver a tree, I need $50. I need a 50 spot. That's my minimum, and I don't know if DoorDash and Uber are paying that. But I'm gonna deliver somebody a tree, and I'm gonna assume it's gonna be heavy, and it's gonna be a lot, and it's gonna be pine needles, and this might be a weight there, and I might have to help the person put it in their home. I need 50. I need $50. I need a 50 piece. That's the minimum. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I need, regardless of mileage. I need $50. Yes. I'm going to talk about that in the video this week. There's a petition from Sergio, from the rideshare guy, going around about rideshare. He shared it with me personally. I'm going to talk about that this week. Thanks for the reminder. I think that's what you're talking about. Rideshare guy petition about Uber. Yes. Yeah, that's what you're talking. Yep. I saw it. I have not signed it yet, but I'm going to make a video about it. Drain the swamp. With DoorDash, they tell you they are stealing from you. With Spark, they piss you off and tell you it's raining. They piss on you and tell you it's raining. Yeah, you're not necessarily wrong about that. AP Delivery Side Gig says, take the greed of DoorDash and Uber and then together, and they still not match the greed of Spark. I don't know. For me, I've said this before. To me, Uber is the worst of all the apps. They pay the least overall. They do pay the least. The lowest base fare for food delivery. For the lowest base fare on any app is Uber. Uber will pay you pennies to do a delivery. I've seen it. If it's a stack, that second order that they put in there or they send you, it's pennies sometimes. I think Uber's the worst as far as greed and everything considered. I think after that it's DoorDash, but DoorDash for other reasons beyond just the pay. But that's how I look at it. I know nothing about the rideshare petition or why I would do anything. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about that this week in the video. It's actually something that Sergio wrote up, and it's how do I say it? It's kind of like a change.org thing. I think that's where he wrote it. But it's a piece directed, and he sent it to Dara and the guy that runs Lyft. I forget his name. Maybe David Risher is his name. Dara and David Risher, I believe. He sent it to them, and in hopes that they would see it. And he's talking about what he thinks they should do as CEOs of the companies for the drivers, considering these companies now are making record profits. So it's an interesting piece. So I'll talk about it later. Facts, Will. Darren, how you doing, man? I'm not scratching my truck for some entitled butthole. Says Melissa. That's the comment of the night so far. So don't do Uber Eats? What? No, I do Uber Eats. So yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's definitely going to be the money's going to be there. I think I got sidetracked, but I wanted to mention. I think food delivery and all this space, everything changes. It's very fluid. You have to be willing to change with it. I had a really good conversation last week with a guy, Tim. A little bit of a debate, but it turned out to be I think a really good conversation. I think we both kind of learned some things from one another, got a chance to talk. But one of the things that some people have a problem with is when creators or just gig workers use the word adapt. Well, you just got to adapt. I'm not making money, and somebody tells you just adapt, do something different. I use that word all the time. I probably said it 1,000 times on YouTube, and I believe in it because I've had to use it. So if I use it and it works, I'm gonna maybe say it so maybe it works for you. But I think there's something to be said for that, because a lot of us, we say food delivery is dying, or it's dead, or I'm not making money on Spark, or somebody earlier was like, I only made $34 on Instacart today and they work 7 hours. I don't know how true that is, but let's assume it is. If you're not making money in the gig economy or with this app or with that app, and you see things change, that means you have to change. I think at the basis level of this kind of work, that's what it is. The apps aren't going to change for you. They might put in a new program. They might incentivize you with a promotion. They might give you some kind of quest, or those are great. Those are bonuses. They're not going to be long-term sustainability. So that means if the apps aren't going to change, you have to be the deciding factor that changes. Whether that means you change the day part that you work, how you work the app, how much time you give it, try a whole nother app, or the change might be, hey, I made $34 in 7 hours. I can't sustain this. And that keeps every Sunday I make that crappy money, or week after week, my earnings are going down, or week after week, month after month, I can't pay my bills or reach my financial goals. And I already got a W-2 and I started doing this on the side to make money, but really I don't feel like I'm really making money when I look at my profitability. Then you got to, the end game might be that you need to stop and try a different gig. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think some of us, we let our pride and egos get in the way and say, well, no, I got to do it. You know, Pedro does well and Pastor Phil does good and Bobby's in Louisiana and he makes $1,700 this week. Hey, listen, I've also once said that's not the majority of most people's experiences. If your experience can match that, that's successful, do it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it's broken, you got to get a different tool to fix the problem. And sometimes that means stop working or try a different app or try a different hustle, try a different gig, try a different day, try a different something, a different mindset. Maybe you do need to think about that program that that app has. You might not like it, but maybe you can see some benefits to it. Maybe it's I'm not having success, but I have my shopper option opted out on DoorDash. Well, you need to probably turn it on and activate your red card because you might be missing out on some decent grocery shop orders, Aldi orders, whatever. So these are the kind of things that I talk about because if you expect the app to change, but you're not willing to change at all, you're in the wrong line of business. You're in the wrong side hustle. I believe that. If a lot of us talk about that we're business owners or I run this like my business, business owners that have businesses, they change and adapt all the time. They change and adapt to what their customers want, their customers' feedback, the marketplace, the pricing of goods and goods that they're buying. They might need to get a new meat supplier because this guy's charging me 20% more because of this. Well, you know what? I'm going to try this guy now. Like when you run a business, you're always adapting. You're always looking to squeeze the most out of the lemon, get more to my bottom line. We have to do the same as gig workers, as delivery drivers, ride share, whatever. If you're not having success and you're doing the same thing, that's on you. I believe that. And it doesn't mean that companies aren't responsible for doing some pretty crappy, shitty things. Sure, two things can be true at the same time. But you got to take a look in the mirror and say, okay, what can I change right now to be a little bit better this week? You know what? I just want to make an extra, I want to make $50 more this week than I did last week. How can I do something? Okay, I made $50 more. I made 1,000 this week. I made 950 last week. Okay, how can I get up to 1,100? Okay, let me figure this out. Boom, I made 1,100. Okay, man, oh, can I get to 1,150? Like these are incremental changes, and there's things you can do on an everyday basis that I believe you can do that, and that's why that's a big reason why I have this channel. So, anyways, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Who else we got up in here? What up, Lynn? That definitely pay to do stores, rate the drivers, maybe. Yeah, Uber, I know can. So can DoorDash. A lot of these merchants, so depending on the merchant, in St. Louis, what seems to be for me, the merchants that have like the tablets, right? Where they don't have like a POS system like a Chick-fil-A and all those other places, and McDonald's is different. Those places can rate, but like the way that they do it is different, and they're so busy that they don't do it as frequent unless something crazy happens. But when you're dealing with your mom and pop, like locally owned and operated, and they got those tablets, they can rate you and thumbs you up and thumbs you down, especially on Uber, a lot quicker and at a rate that can affect you more than like the big box merchants. So yeah, Uber Eats can definitely rate people. Yeah, I've gotten a negative one a couple times on Uber. I remember a couple years ago, I was mad because a guy like gave my pizza to somebody else. I was like, really, man? And like, I gave him like a little bit of attitude. I didn't curse at him. I was like, really? You gave it to somebody else? Like, I've been here for 10 minutes. And he like gave me a bad rating or something. And then right now in my Uber app, I have some kind of notification about something about a merchant gave me a bad something about, what does it even say? Let me see. It's on topic. So I think it says something about, let me go to my account. Okay. Satisfaction. So when we go to satisfaction, I got yeah, look at that. Merchant. One merchant rated me and it gave me a thumbs down. You see that? And it says professionalism with business. Look at that. I have no idea who that came from. Maybe that's still the one from years ago. I have no idea. It might be, but yeah, they can definitely rate you. So that's important because if you get if you get enough of those, you might probably can lose your account, right? And I don't blame the apps for that. I just don't. We can agree to disagree, but you know, If I got 5 thumbs down in my last 5 deliveries from merchants, I'm probably doing something wrong. If I got one out of several hundred, it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. I had one because I didn't take my hot bag with me to store. Yeah, some places are really strict on that. And yeah, some are really strict. Here in St. Louis, we have a place. It's called. It's a burger joint. Oh, I forget the name of the place. There's a few of them. What's it called? Anyways, they got signs on the door, like, and at the height of food delivery, they were like, "You gotta have a bag," and you gotta have a bag. And I've seen drivers either go back to their car to get it, or they had to leave because they didn't have one, and they did not give the orders out. Not Shake Shack. It's called High something. Oh my god, what's it called? Oh, I can't remember it. Ooh, Darren says I got banned from my local Chinese joint by an employee there who also does DoorDash Uber Eats. I feel honored. Dashers. Damn, that's crazy. So he banned you because he wants more orders for himself? That's crazy. Thank you, High Point. Thank you, High Point. That place. I haven't picked up from them since I've been deactivated on DoorDash, and I haven't seen any high points since I got back on. I haven't picked up from them at all. And I never did a Uber Eats. I don't think. I think they might only be on DoorDash, but I haven't even seen a high point order on DoorDash this past week. And I was in that area, which was surprising. But yeah, they used to always you needed a bag all the time, to the point where I'd come in with my bag when I was using a bag like that regularly. And they were like, "Oh, thanks for having a bag," you know. Late to establishment, yeah, maybe. All right, let's see. Are we at the 1 hour mark? I told myself I was probably going to do an hour, and I think we're right at the 1 hour mark. If you guys got any other questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll put a few up, maybe answer a few more. Appreciate the 91 that are in here. Hit that thumbs up, and if you're watching on the vertical short form, welcome, because maybe you're new. We do this just about every Sunday, 9 o'clock. Sometimes it's open panel. Sometimes I have designated guests on and talk about topics. Other times I like to read the chat and just vibe with you guys. And that was kind of the vibe that I had tonight. So hope you guys had a good time. Let's see. I'm probably I wasn't able to see every comment, but I'm probably missing pretty good ones. Are you still get them from that place? Okay, but not on DoorDash. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, these merchants can rate you guys. That's for sure. And if you have a bad enough incident, some of them they'll call DoorDash or they'll call Uber on you. Like they have a separate. I think it's the same phone number, but like when we call, we get Dasher support. They get like merchant support. They listen. They know your name. Some of these tablets have your name. Have you ever been to a place where it says your name? Like I've seen it, and like your picture even, and like kind of vehicle that you have. They could ban you off these. They could you just be careful with your communication with these places. Be careful with that. And the high stress level of the holiday season, these workers are going to be overworked, and you don't want to piss them off because it might not even be your fault. But I'm saying just err on the side of caution with your relations with the employees. Expedite has been my only. Expedite has been the best. Only have done 11 orders, but I think it has the most potential for sure. Oh man, listen, bro. I got an $80 order tomorrow. 10:45, $80, 5 miles, easy money. Yeah. I was hoping they'd send me one more like later, like a morning but there was a day last week there was 2 days last week I had three in one day. And then the week before that, there was 2 days I had three in one day. I mean, there was a day I had three orders. I think I made almost $200 just on three catering. And I know I'm going to have days where I'll have two or three and I'll make $500 and it'll just be catering. It's going to happen and I'll film it when it does. So 2211 mile Dewey's Pizza. 22 1.1 mile Dewey Pizza. That's all day long right there, baby. Which Dewey's? Hampton? When deliveries are slow. AP says when deliveries are slow, I'm out doing field inspection work. I've been mentioning this for months now. You have. That's interesting to me. I don't know anything. I don't really know anything besides what you say about that. City. Okay, cool. U City. Okay, yeah. That's Where's the Dewey's in New City? Ah, I know where it's at. I've been there a couple times. Been a minute though. Oh no, you're talking about on North and South. That Dewey's? I do catering there all the time. That's what you're talking about, right? Off North and South, right off Delmar, right there. That place is great. Orders always ready. That's the one you're talking about, right? Right on Delmar. Delmar. Yep. I think I've done 3 or 4 pickups just in the last week and a week and a half from that place. It's yeah, it's good. Yep, I've done there hundreds of times. Oh yeah. I don't think I haven't picked up from there. Mostly it's just been, yeah, just on deliver that and expedite over the last couple of years. So all right, y'all. Any other questions? Put them in the chat. I'm gonna round this out. I didn't want to be super long tonight. I'll probably have one next Sunday, even though it's kind of holiday-ish. We do have a little family holiday thing, but that's during the day, so I'll probably be live next week. I'm planning, if I do it, I'll probably have a special guest on, but that's TBD. Yo, what up, bro? You coming to St. Louis still, brother? Hit me up on that text line. I didn't forget you. Everybody say, what's up, Yost? Check out Yost on TikTok, y'all. Yost, my Bears are 8-3, first in the North, baby. Have a good night and happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, you too, man. Yes, sir. All right, all right. Let's see what else we got. Let's see if I'm missing anything. I'm gonna look at this real quick on the other on the vertical. I want to see what it looks like because yeah, it's only 11 people over there watching. The verticals is different though. It's not as good. But I think there's some people in there. Wonder how that works though. It's weird. Wonder how the views work on that. Interesting. So listen, I want y'all to have a good week. Money can be out there. Always adapt. Try different things. Don't be afraid to try different things. Make sure all your apps, all your accounts, you're maximizing the opportunity. You got your bags. You got pictures of this. You're opting into things that you want to do. The money's going to be there. This is the time because January will be slow. So stack your money when you can. Work a little extra if you need to because January it will be slow. Doesn't mean there's not money to be made, but the opportunities will be less, and usually that means less earnings. I want you guys to have a great rest of your Sunday. I appreciate you for spending a little over an hour with me tonight. If you're out there working, make good decisions, be safe. And like I always say, if you're around somebody that you love, friend, family, kid, mother, daughter, fiance, husband, wife, grandma, give them a hug, tell them you love them. That might change their day. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.